What up, YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome back to another live stream. I hope you guys are doing well. Thank y'all so much for being here. Happy Saturday. I hope y'all are enjoying your weekend so far. So happy Saturday to you guys. I hope y'all are doing well. As you come into the building, per usual, make sure you are hitting the like button. Make sure you thumbs up the stream, y'all. That helps the channel out. So make sure you are thumbsing up the stream as you come in. If you are in the building and you are new to the channel and you like the content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It is free to subscribe. Also share and like the content as well. And while you're at it, make sure you hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new content. That is super important as well. So before we get started, once again, y'all know the deal. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me perfectly fine. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me perfectly fine. All right. So go ahead, put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me perfectly fine. Topic, of course, you guys asked for this, so I'm delivering. So make sure you are chiming in the chat. Make sure you are letting me know your thoughts on these reaction videos and streams. I definitely want to hear from you guys. Make sure you continue to support the channel by watching the content posted on the channel. That helps the channel out as well. So I'm going to stop talking. Shout out to everybody in the building, everybody in the chat. Thank y'all so much for being here once again. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for your support and watching and all that good stuff. Y'all know what it is. So we're going to get into this one. Now, once again, this is an oldie but goodie. Y'all, those of you who have been following me for the past, I guess, maybe 2-3 years or more, you know that I've already covered the Kevin Samuels content. This is not new for me. I've already covered these particular videos, but I thought it made sense since you guys asked for it to bring it back, because a lot of the videos that I reacted to when it comes to Kevin Samuels, I was not on cam. So you got my voice, but you didn't get my literal reaction. And some of the content on, his videos, these were wild videos. Like, we talk about delusional, baby. A lot of the women, and it may be nice women. I don't want to, crap on them too bad, but because I know a lot of these women are just delusional and they don't know any better. A lot of people just don't know any better, and they go with what they think and feel as opposed to what is actual and factual. And I think that's the main difference. And it's hard to try to convince somebody who really believes what they believe without any substantial evidence or any factual based anything. They go off of what they see, what they think, and how they feel. And that is really the nature of most women. And so I just would like to see a lot of our women change that. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to hurt you. It doesn't take away from you. It can only make you better. And stop thinking that everybody is against you, because that does not really benefit you either. It just keeps you in this stressful mental state that only can hinder you rather make you better. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, we see it far too often. Once again, and I give my 2 cents on a political perspective and everything, because I see what's happening. And it's hard for me to not address certain things that I see when it comes to what's really happening in the world, when it comes to relationships, women, men, all of it. And that's why I have this channel. And so I just think it's important to give a different perspective and a different outlook or a different view on how you think and what you see and how you feel. Because just because you feel a certain way don't mean that is what it actually is. And I think far too many of our women, once again, run with that. And I don't think it's helping us, sisters, the sisterhood. If you're watching and if you're listening, that it's not helping us. And we got to stop thinking that everybody is against us. And every time somebody says something that we don't like, that it's a bruise to your ego, or it's meant to hurt you or meant to harm you. Because I know a lot of women have a negative view of men, especially Black men, and they have a negative view when it comes to men and relationships in general. So they automatically lead, and it's just my opinion, and based off of what I've seen, what I've was raised to think, and how I was raised to view men, and how a lot of us were raised to view men as the problem and view men as the issues without ever taking accountability for our issues. So this is where you have a lot of women who don't take accountability. That's why Kevin Samuels said in the first place, accountability is like kryptonite, because they run from it. They don't, because they've been raised and taught in a society that coddles women and shame men. You know, the men, black men are the boogeymen, and they just so dangerous and so this and so that. But you keep going after one, and then you keep going after the wrong types, and then putting yourself in these predicaments, and then you still crying wolf, and you're still saying, "Oh, they're to blame." And I think that is the. I mean, I don't care how you try to spin it, how you try to say it. That is a big problem amongst women. And I like to reiterate that because so many people, we have men and women out here who claim otherwise, who try to take the focus off the women as well. And I think that does not do any justice for men who are out here trying to find healthy relationships and wives and build families. So it's like if you got the women and you have men out here calling these women to get a dollar to benefit off of this, I just think that that's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous. And I think, you know, if anything, you might want to try to at least give them something that they can actually use as to keep perpetuating the same lie and keeping them in that same cycle that you know is not really benefiting them and not really, they're not really gaining from that. And I just think, look, everybody out here is gaining in some way. Everybody. But I just think at least you could be a little bit more genuine and more realistic and try to give people some type of good advice that could help them as opposed to keep hindering them and keeping them in the same place. And that's not what I'm trying to do. I just think that we could benefit as women. I think, like I said before, I think Black women are amazing. To be honest with you, I think we have a lot of great Black women. I think we have a lot of good women out here with good potential. But along with this perceived this perceived idea of that men are just out here all bad, and that we as Black women, because we're Black women and we have a vagina, that we're just perfect and great. I just think we got to stop that. We got to stop that. And this idea that we're better than Black men and because we got a degree and all that, that's just that's not that is not it. That's not it. And so I think it's important to try to push that out there, at least to get somebody to listen to it and maybe hear a different perspective so that we can get a better outcome. You know what I mean? Maybe we can have better relationships between men and women. And maybe we can have better communities or build our communities back, because right now it's in shambles. It's in shambles. It really is. It's in shambles, and you know, and it's further, it's becoming further and further divided. Look at the election cycle. To me, this is dividing everybody even more because women are still in denial. And Black women have this entitlement that because they're Black, that's supposed to give them some extra edge or something like that. And you know, and they just can't see it any other way. A lot of these women are insecure. A lot of these women are fragile. They have fragile egos. They're very unrealistic. There's a lot of things that we could work on as Black women, but because Black women think that they're entitled to something, it's hard for them to see it. And so this affects everything, and including them. They are hindering themselves with the mentality that they have, and I don't think that they see it. And so it's just, in my opinion, good to have a different perspective on it and try to think differently, and you will get a different outcome. You keep thinking the same way, you keep going the same way, you keep doing the same things, you keep feeling and thinking that the sisterhood of independent boss chick women, we don't need a man, but we want one that's going to yield you something greater. And we see that it's not. It's not. So what do we have? A bunch of bitter single mothers still blaming the government, blaming Black men, and blaming everybody else but themselves. And honestly, you put 9 times out of 10, you put yourself in that predicament. You chose Pookie and chose to have a baby with him. Not just one time, 2, 3, and 4, and sometimes 5 and 6 times. But I was young and dumb. You make the choices, you then make the excuses, and then you complain about them. If nobody took advantage of you or taking your choices away from you, there's nobody to blame. But guess what? Guess who? You. And we talk about the blame game. We talk about making excuses. We see nothing but that when it comes to Black women. That's all we see. So I just believe that we need to keep pushing this forward and ahead to try to get some sense into our women so that they can be better. This is not to hurt you or bash you no, it's to make you see something different, because I know growing up, look, the majority of what I saw was young women getting pregnant, not married. They were not, it was single mothers, single mother led households, young women repeating the cycle, getting pregnant. Nobody ever was talking about marriage and having a family. No, they had children. And that was in the 80s and 90s growing up. And here we are in 2024, damn near 2025, and it's the same thing. It's the same thing. We're talking about the same stuff. So nothing's changed. It is not better. All we have is women who are even more entitled and more stubborn and more independent and more separate than ever. And there's, it's going to be difficult to change it, but like I said, the change is not going to come from this generation here. Maybe it's going to be either the next generation or the one after it, where those young women get the message. It's never really, when you're putting the message out, it's never really for the people in that moment, because they've already made their decisions. They've already made their choices. They believe what they believe, and you can't sway them any other way. And that's fine. So, but the message is not for them. They already hit the wall. They already where they are. There ain't no changing them. They believe what they believe. But this is for the next generation or the next or after that to get through to those young women to understand the difference, because it seems like a lost cause. But I mean, look, Shahrazad Ali, shout out to her, much love and blessings to her. She's been saying this for the longest, and nothing much has changed. So, it is almost a lost cause. It's like you're just you're speaking and not really, and people aren't listening, but somebody's listening. But I wanted to say that we're going to jump right into the video clip, Divine Photos. What's going on, Divine Photos? Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for the super chat. It says, afternoon, DeeDee, looking great. Thank you. Until good sisters start giving pushback on the toxic behavior of the sisterhood, good women need to start speaking up. I agree. Because I always say this, and I say it's the same old thing over and over. I always say, listen, we gotta shift the narrative. You can't allow for that same rhetoric to just go on and on without any pushback or without anybody on the opposite side. Yeah, they don't like it, but who cares? You don't like nasty medicine, right? But you need the medicine to make you feel better, right? Thank you once again, Divine Photos. You don't like the things that are good for you, fruits and vegetables. A lot of people don't like to eat that. If you've been used to eating trash, it is trash, but I'm a snack kind of girl too. So I ain't gonna hold you like the New Yorkers say. I ain't gonna hold you. I like a good snack, but just because I like snacks, I can't sit back and eat snacks 24/7, because then I will be a big snack, right? So, I mean, look, just because, it tastes good don't mean that I need to overindulge, because there are consequences, right? I like snacks. I like food. I like sugar, but I know I have to taper it in. I know I can't just eat sugar and snacks all day, every day, because the consequences of that, I'm gonna have a big bag. So me knowing that, I gotta reel it in. I'm not gonna get rid of it completely, but in moderation. Okay, if I don't want a big bag, I gotta cut back. Oh, that's a slogan. If I don't want a big bag, I gotta cut back. Child. And it's true. It's true. So, and things that are good for you, a lot of people don't want it. They don't want it because it's good. Medicine tastes nasty. If you got an illness or something, you got to have a surgery. And because it's what the illness is causing or whatever it is causing you pain, you got to have surgery. Most people don't like surgery, but you got to go and do it in order to feel better. So people don't like the things that make sense and that are good for them naturally. But just because you don't like it, once again, that's a feeling, doesn't mean that you don't need that medicine. So it's like medicine. You don't like it, but you need to take it in order for you to feel better. You don't like constructive criticism on the things that we know need to be changed, but you need to hear it, because once you keep hearing it, and it keeps seeping into your brain, maybe you'll start to realize, okay, I need to just do what I need to do. Otherwise, I'm going to stay in this sunken place. Now, if you want to stay in a sunken place and you don't want to progress and you don't want to do better, then that's on you. But in order for you to make progress or make changes to your life that will enhance your life in many multiple ways, we're not talking about just financially, because that's what I think a lot of people gravitate to. Money. And y'all know how I feel about that. Money is important. We all need it, of course. Of course. Granted, I'm not saying you don't, but there's other things that you need too. And if you're out here looking for love, if you're looking for companionship, if you want to build a family, there are ways to go about that. And this independent boss chick, I don't need a man. I could do it all by myself because I got a business. I own 2 businesses, Kendra. You own 2 businesses, and what that got to do with a man? Either you own 2 businesses, and maybe perhaps that is what's hindering you from getting a man, because you don't have time for one. The same way you would want a man who's trying to pursue you to have time for you. So it's just a lot that I think a lot of women have not been privy to, and they're stuck in this mindset and they don't know how to come out of it. They don't know how to come out of it. And the things that would help them to come out of it, they're skeptical about it. They don't know if they want to do that because they've been so entrenched and brainwashed into the mentality that they have. They're stuck. And a lot of us could be stuck. I wasn't exempt from it. Nobody's exempt from it, male or female. So nobody's exempt from this. But if on top of that, if you don't want to open your mind up to new advice or new possibilities or new ideas, then that's going to yield you stuck. And that pertains to anything, a business, anything, relationships, business ventures, whatever it is. I always say, listen, I am open to a different perspective. Why? Because you could be so close-minded, and stuck on the things that you've been raised with and taught with, the things your mothers, your grandmothers, and all these people have taught you. And you just, they tell us this stuff when we're children. Before we ever get in a relationship, they're already exposing us to their negative history and their negative past and the type of men that they've dealt with. We're exposed to that before we've ever had a chance to actually see what a man is, meet a man, or be in a relationship with a man. We've already heard men ain't ish, and this is what they'll do to you, and don't do this, don't, because they'll do this. So we have preconceived notions of what a man is going to do, possibly who he is, and all of that. So we grow up and we go out into society, and we have all this in the back of our heads that men are this and men are that, and we haven't even experienced that yet. So we go into relationships expecting negativity off the rip. And even when you don't get that negativity, you're expecting it. So any little thing pop up, oops, see that, there you go. That's what my grandma told me. That's what my mama told me. So you walk away from something without giving it a chance because somebody made a mistake, or because you took it as there it is, you looking for it. So we got to change that. We got to change that. So let's go ahead and get into the video because I know y'all waiting. Successful MD says, I think most of the delusion is self-imposed. My reason is that those women seek validation and sources for what they believe already. Oh, that's true. If you consume yourself with certain stuff, that's what you're going to believe. You're not going to see anything other than that. This is what we have women out here talking about, oh, men are unaliving women every 10 minutes. So what you believe is what you, and they talk about manifesting. What you believe is what you continue to see. That's what you focus on. So you go towards that negativity because that's what you already believe. So you consume yourself with that. So to you, that's what it is. And there's no other possibilities, but there are, because if you take yourself out of that loop that you're in and you look outside of that, you see happy, married, successful couples. You see successful Black men. You see women who are successful in their own right and their husbands and them working together. You see couples who have differences in political views. And guess what? They're still together. They're not walking away from their husbands because he's a Republican and she's no, there are couples who have different political views who are still married and love each other and stay together, because now that's a thing. Oh, if you vote this, I'm leaving you, and this and that. I think it's so stupid. So yeah, whatever you consume yourself with, whatever you focus on, that's all you're going to get. So if you're always negative, you're going to always get negativity. That's what you're going to constantly get. And that's sort of manifested in a way, because whatever you gravitate towards, that's what you get more of. That's why I say you can't go into any situation with a negative mentality, because the negativity is going to find you. And everything that you see, you already think negative. So you can create that negative space. That's true. So yeah, you can't just look for negativity, because that's what you're going to get. Thank you, Successful MD. Farrell says, what make media afraid to hold feminism accountable? I think, and y'all chime in on this question. That's a good question, Farrell. Thank you so much for the super chat, Farrell. And how are you? I hope you're doing well today. I think because of capitalism, I think a lot of women spend a lot of money. I think that has a lot to do with it, because women are the ones who buy everything. You know, you're doing things to make sure that you get those billions from these women. So you cater to them because it allows for them to continue to spend money. I think that's one of the major ways. You know, partly I think separating the families and breaking and separating men from women is another reason why. It is part of the reason why I think they do it as well, because and as somebody said it before, you know, you break up the family, you can tax the women and you can tax the men. You know, that's more money in the powers that be pockets. You know, they can capitalize off of single mothers and, you know, and broken households. You know, if you have the mother and the fathers together in one household, then you're not going to be able to get as much off of that, because that their incomes are together and they're probably budgeting in a certain way and building more as opposed to spending. So a lot of single women, you can manipulate them in a way to spend. That's what we see. You make lots of money off of that. So I think that's one of the ways, Farrell. There are probably more, but I think that's one of the ways. To be honest, we're neither of the so said political parties. None of the principles exist anymore. Yeah. So I think so. Yeah, they do capitalize off of it. There's an incentive for them to keep women single and not married. There's an incentive. Leave your husband, now you can go file for child support, and the courts and all of they make money off of that too. So, you know, it's all somebody gaining from all of this. But the people who are suffering are the individuals who are buying into it. So you buy into the single mother, single independent woman lifestyle, then you're losing, and they don't realize that they're losing until it's too late, and everybody else is gaining off of it. Thank you once again, Farrell, for the super chat. What's going on, Christopher? How are you? All right, so let's get into this video. Once again, y'all know the people have been following me for a while. Y'all know I've reacted to this video a long time ago. Shout out to and rest in peace to Kevin Samuels. I'll put the full link to his video in the description, so make sure you guys check that out if you haven't already. I've covered this one, but I thought it would be fun to do it again because y'all asked for it, so that's what we're gonna do. So yeah. Let's go ahead and get into the video. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. We have 123 watching right now, y'all. Only 74 likes. Hit the like button, y'all. Come on now. Y'all come on. Your fingers work. Hit the like button. Come on. Come on now. Hit the like button, please. It's free. It don't cost nothing to hit the like button. All right? Go ahead and hit the like button. All right, let's get into the video. Here we go.
Hello, Mr. Samuel.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm okay. How old are you?
I am 29.
All right. So what are we talking about?
Okay, Mr. Samuel, I just heard you say, you know, if we just give men what they really want, then we will be able to be married and have a good life with the man. I disagree.
Do you have any children?
I do. I have a son.
And were you married?
Was I married when I conceived? No.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So I disagree because I'm a social worker. So I'm in the helping field, and I was just got out of a long-term relationship. And
let me ask y'all this: do y'all remember this video? Let me know if you remember this one, because baby, this one here was a doozy. Do y'all remember this particular one? Let me know in the chat. But let's continue.
And before, well, when I was in a relationship, he would tell me, okay, I want to go back to school. I want to pursue my degree. I want to finish, I want to finish my degree. So I thought like, okay, great. Let me come up with a plan on, let's see how we can get your degree. Let's see what type of money we got to put in for you to do this. But when it came down to it, that's not what he really wanted to do. So
hold on. Are you judging all men based upon what you're talking about?
I'm not, but
are you sure? Because you said you did. Okay, you say you disagreed, but I allowed you to speak, and you spent the better part of a minute describing your situation.
And like I was saying at first, like I'm a social worker, so I work with a lot of women, and I work with a lot of, I work with a lot of single women.
But do you ever get the father side of the story?
No.
Thank you.
No, that's the problem.
I'm sorry. Hold on, ma'am. You get one side. There are three sides: hers, his, and the truth. And guess what? I can pull up video after video of women breaking the law, lying, and females believing it. 74-year-old man in Idaho Springs was tasered, framed, and stroked out because his neighbor, who was drunk, high, and had multiple felonies, lied and said he had them. Go look it up, guys. And that guy didn't get anything. And you know what? The female cop was over there. This old man, they tasered him in his own home, planted evidence on him, and they were more concerned with the woman who was drunk and high. So, women tend to believe women's sob stories. And you cannot be an intelligent person and tell me just because you're a social worker, hearing one side of the story, knowing you're a single mother predisposed to having a heart for women, that you're getting a balanced picture.
And you know what? That's facts. You cannot ignore that. I mean, because we look at the brick lady situation. That lady lied. There's several of other women who lie all the time. We see it all the time. So, he's absolutely right. But a lot of these women are just blind to the truth. Jawaba, I hope I'm saying your name right. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate you. Successful MD says those women called in for attention, as on Kendra G's. Well, I mean, they may have called in for attention, but they didn't like what they got. I know that. That's why they were so pissed and mad at the man, because they didn't like the truth. Thank you, Successful MD, once again. Let's see here. Let's continue.
Logically, tell me that's what you're doing.
No, what I'm saying is I'm not only am I a social worker, I am a female, and I do work with a lot of single women that I have seen.
A lot of single women who choose to marry before they carry, do things out of order, and you don't get the father's story. Perspective. Right?
I'm speaking about dating, Mr. Sam.
No, ma'am, I'm speaking about you're trying to set the table in a bullshit way. Do these women in social work come in here and they're married women who have children as a result of marriage and their husbands are still around?
Some, yes, sir.
Some, what percentage? 1 in 4 Black women were married. Careful.
Married about 6%.
So 94% of these women aren't.
Yes, sir.
So when you say some, I don't understand why y'all do that. Some, if your kid came home and said, Mom, here's my grade, and he gave you an F-, he said, boy, you didn't get nothing. What did you do? You got an F-? I got some of them right. You got 6 right, but you got 94 wrong. You'd be like, oh, okay, so you got all right. You're already starting off wrong. And I'm going to tell you, in your relationship, you were wrong too. Let me tell you why. Because you said he decided he wanted to go to school. So something like that. He wanted to go to school. And immediately you pulled out your dick. And immediately you pulled out immediately you pulled out your penis. You started figuring out what to do and how to this and how to that. That ain't your job. It was for him to figure it out. He just said what he wanted to do. Did he ask you to go do all that? Did he say, I want to finish school? Did he ask you to go do all that? I hear you. Thank you. Put up your dick. So, I mean, just saying, many of our women, you're listening to 94% of women by your stats who aren't married, who are living at a level where they need social work. And you expect to hear good stories about men, and you don't even pay attention, and you don't listen to the father's standpoint. Well, I tell you what, Miss Social Worker, why don't you go interview the fathers to understand what they're dealing with these mothers, because they can't all be angels.
I was in the room, you know, okay, I want to go back to school. I want to pursue my degree.
Oh, what happened? I went back.
When social work come in here and they're married women who have figuring out what to do and how to this and how to that. That ain't your.
But my point I wanted to say, that's what I be saying. And we know for a fact that these women aren't perfect and we know they lie. I don't understand, but it's the sisterhood. Just believe all women, believe what they say, no matter what it looks like. Don't go talk to the man because he gonna lie. Why? Because he automatically gonna lie and she's automatically gonna tell the truth. That is so delusional to me. I just think that is very dangerous too. That is very dangerous. I'll never forget the what's his name story. Oh my God, what is his name? Damn it, the Amber Heard case with what's his name? What's his name? Jesus Lord. Amber Heard situation. That woman straight lied on that man. And they pulled jobs from him with the quickness. Same thing with what's the other guy, the black guy from Lovecraft Country. And from that other, all this Johnny Depp, I can't remember these people's names, child. Yes, Johnny Depp, and the newest one, where this man was running from his girlfriend, and he you know could have went to jail. I didn't see nothing he did wrong. They made a big deal. He lost his jobs. All of that. That lady, if Johnny Depp would not have fought, he would have been considered an abuser and everything else, would not be able to get any work, and she would have been prospering. She would have been getting jobs. They would have been putting her, she would have got money out of him, everything. If he decided, literally on them tapes, told him, what are you going to do? They're not going to believe you. And you sitting here, and of course, a lot of women don't have a problem with that because they're the ones who benefit from it. You gonna sit here and say, oh, well, if you go try to go to do something, they're not going to believe you. And I just think that is insane to me. I watched that case, baby. I was so happy that man was vindicated. I was so happy that he was Jonathan Majors is the one I was talking about also. That was crazy. That should have been a domestic dispute and nothing more. But this man, he should not have lost work. Same with Johnny Depp. So the women are automatically believed, and you got to prove that you didn't do something, and then to show that they were lying. That lady, Amber Heard, said this man abused her, did all these things. He did none of the sorts. She faked bruises on her, all kinds of stuff. And that's supposed to be okay? Oh, but women don't lie. Oh yeah, they're just perfect angels. They tell the truth all the time, child. Bullshit. And this is why I have sons. That's why I see people understand it. And I've said this is nothing new. I said this before. If it's your son up against a lying woman, then you want to, scream and howl and call her out. But if it's you or anybody else, you don't have nothing to say. You're defending that behavior. And that is not okay by no stretch of the imagination. That's not okay. You got to prove your innocence. You got to prove that you're telling the truth. But these women are automatically believed, and every woman, oh, well, and you automatically cast the men out, automatically just start talking shit about him and because you in defense of the woman, even though and when she's lying, and when the truth comes out, everybody's silent. All the women are quiet. It's a bunch of BS. It really is. And I just think it needs to stop. It really needs to stop. And this is why I don't listen to give me the information. Let me go off the information like you do when like you're supposed to do. Let me hear from both sides. You don't want to hear from the men because when the man starts talking, you're going to realize, oh, this heifer is lying. And she was the combative one. She is the one who needs reprimanding. See, that's why they don't want you to hear from the men. That's why they don't like to hear men talk. Oh, let's just get rid of those male podcasters because we don't want to hear them. Right, because you want to spew your negativity, your hatred, and everything that you make yourself look great. But when you hear the other side, you realize, oh, goddamn, they ain't that great. It is what it is. What's going on, Paul Harrison? Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much. Says, hey, DeeDee, I remember this video. Yes. LOL. Yes. Oh, we're gonna get to that part because baby, that part have me screaming. She looked crazy saying that. Watch how Kevin look at her. This is hilarious. It is. That's why I pulled this one up because there's a lot of crazy ones on his show, which it's hilarious to me. It was hilarious to me then, and it's still hilarious now. But it's interesting to go back to see everything that he was saying come to fruition now. A lot of these women are still complaining in the same position they were in when this man was alive talking about this. And they hated him for it and they didn't want to hear it. They bashed and they did all that they could, but his voice is still being heard. The things that he said is still resonating. It's even worse today. So nothing's gotten better. They're still out here complaining, still wondering why they can't get a high value man. And because you don't want to hear the truth. But just because you don't want to hear it don't mean that it's the truth and that it's that you don't need to make any changes. You know what I'm saying? So it's just interesting. But thank you once again, Paul. I appreciate the generous super chat. Thank you, sir. Pharaoh says this country is already a gynocratic republic. Thank you so much once again, Pharaoh, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Let's get back into it. Here we go.
Good job. It was for him to figure it out. He just said what he wanted to do. Did he ask you to go do all that? Did he say, I want to finish school? Did he ask you to go do all that? I hear you. Thank you. Put up your dick.
Oh, wait. I already did that part.
So, just saying, many of our women, you're listening to 94% of women by your stats who aren't married, who are living at a level where they need social work. And you expect to hear good stories about men, and you don't even pay attention, and you don't listen to the father's standpoint. Well, I tell you what, Miss Social Worker, why don't you go interview the fathers to understand what they're dealing with these mothers, because they can't all be angels.
Yes, sir.
And another thing, are you saying that men are not consumers? Where in the world, if you give a market what it wants, does it not buy it if you can afford it?
Well, that's even with me. If I go to Dillard's, if I go into Dillard's and I get into Dillard's and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy this perfume. Like I got my mind set, I'm gonna buy this perfume. But if nobody's actually selling it to me, or if I don't feel like I want to spend my money in this store, I'm not gonna do it.
Excuse me, man. You changed it. You see what you did? If I go into Dillard's and I already got my mind made up and they don't have it, or I don't have the money. Excuse me.
They don't sell it to me.
Man, I want you guys to understand this is what they do. This is how their logic works. I said, where do you go if you give a market what it wants and it has the money to purchase and it doesn't buy? You just made up a story where I'll go to Dillard's and I got my mind made up. And that's the problem. Most women don't buy what they should buy. They buy the motherfuckers they make babies with and come into your office needing help with. That's what they do. Instead of shopping at Dillard's, they should have been somewhere else. Man, you're putting the problem on men. There are not enough men. You're saying that men would not make a lot. Okay, then why? Let's play it the other way. Then why would men, if women were offering men in mass in general what they wanted, why would these men choose to remain single?
I think greed.
Good question.
I really do. I think greed. I
Greed?
think, you know,
By the men?
I can get something from her, but let me see what she has to offer. Let me see if it's just a little bit better.
See, guys, what you're doing is, see, women think because everybody will fuck them, they think men have as free sexual options. How does the average man have greed in the sexual marketplace?
Yeah, listen, she was, this lady, let me tell this social, she was delusional as hell. I think she just didn't misinformed. She didn't know what she was talking about. And it's mind-boggling that a lot of women think this way because they're just how they think. It doesn't make logical. It doesn't have to make logical sense. You know what I mean? It's their feelings. It's what I feel. It's what I believe. It's what I think. It doesn't have to make logical sense at all. And to me, I think Kevin Samuels was making logical sense and knowing and then she's just off of her feelings and what she thinks. And that's what they run with, you know. And this is why they have such a problem with men. It's not that all the men are bad. It's just a lot of these women don't understand men and they're talking from the left side of their neck and they don't know what they're talking about and they just think they're right. And then when you go telling that kind of stuff to men who are logically thinking and looking at you, they're like, oh no, she must be batshit crazy. I don't want to deal with her. Okay, this ain't my type of, you know what I mean? It just don't match up. So this is why a lot of women go for scammers and liars because I don't know. I think somehow that resonates with them. We watched that video yesterday or whatever. I think it was yesterday. Where the woman said she wants a scammer. She would prefer a scammer or a drug dealer or, you know, a mean, aggressive man. Because I think that's what they can relate to because they're usually aggressive and mean and all this types of, so that's what they can relate to. That's why they gravitate to those types of men, have babies with them, and then complain when they're by themselves taking care of the child because he done ran out. He never was with you. You say he ran out, but y'all was never together. So make it make sense. You pick those types of guys and then you complain about them not being faithful. You pick the wrong people, you do the wrong things, and then you want the best outcomes. How does that make logical sense in any aspect or where in life? It's like telling somebody, oh yeah, go rob that bank, go commit crimes, do all the crimes you can. But guess what? You ain't going to jail. The police are not going to arrest you when you try to rob that bank. In fact, they're going to put you up in a penthouse and give you a nice outlook, give you a high rise in the sky and put you in a nice penthouse apartment and praise your name. Make that make sense. It's like you want the best, but present the worst. It's mind-boggling. It really is. You want the best, but you giving the worst. You don't want to do anything and then the way when they do call themselves leveling up, oh, I'm gonna get this PhD. But you've never worked on your mentality. You're still the worst mentally, but you just got a job and you got a bachelor's degree. But how that make you better in the sense of dealing with men in relationships? It's delusional. But this was one of the most delusional videos that I've seen. One of them, because there's more. This is just one of the top delusional ones in my opinion. I'm just saying. But let's continue.
You know how hard it is for most guys to get laid? 30%. Excuse me. 30% of men, 30 or under, report not having sex. 30% of men under 30 are virgins. But you can have somebody like Gabrielle Sidibe. And what do women say? Somebody will fuck her because somebody will. Women think there's something called attraction symmetry. They think just because they can go out and offer their vagina to the market, they know somebody will take it. If I walk out and offer my penis to the market, somebody will, but will as many people, how about this? If you go in a room of 100 men and say, I'm clean, I got no diseases, I just want to hook up one night stand, no string, no attachments. Out of 100 men, how many think are gonna smash?
If we got 30% of virgins, then
No, you mixing things. Don't play games with me. Put your 100 men in a room, 100 men, not 30% virgin, just 100 men. How many gonna smash?
I don't know, Mr. Sam.
Really? Just give me a number. Heterosexual men, no. You want to have sex? You clean. How many men you think will smash?
Maybe 80.
All right. And if I put 100 women in a room with the same kind of man, average man, how many women you think gonna fuck?
Maybe 60.
Guys, that's the problem.
Oh,
They
Lord.
think. Excuse me. Look in the comment section. I understand, man. No, when it's over, women think it is easy for men to get sex. As they think it's just as easy for men to get sex as it is for them, because women only think about, when they talk about the sexual marketplace, you talk about the men you're interested in, not 100% of men. If 60% of men were out here, anyway. So no, that number is high. I would say closer to the best pickup artists. The best pickup artists, the guys who have all the game, who study this stuff, report a 10% close rate. 10. And these are the guys who are the game masters.
Okay.
So
she don't believe that. She don't believe that because she just don't know. She don't know. And I think, look, it is much easier for women, in my opinion. Y'all let me know what y'all think, because how y'all feel about this. Let me know in the chat. But I think it is much easier for women to get sex from men than it is in reverse. I think it's much easier. I mean, women. We've seen women who are like 300, 400, 500 pounds have a side piece, not even a side piece, a man in her, who she's sleeping with, because she's as big as she was. You would think that would be a turn off, but for some men, it's available. It's like, okay, she giving it, he gonna take it. He don't want her per se. He don't want to be with her, but he will take that coochie. I'm just saying. And I don't think every man is out here just giving their body like that easily, but it is much easier for women to get sex. A woman could just say, "Hey, I'm like he said, I'm clean. I don't have nothing. I'm horny. You want some?" And a lot of men will take it. It may not be every man, but a higher percentage of them would. They will take that chance. And if you are attractive too, on top of that, yes. So it's easy for women to go out and just throw that coochie on anybody. It is much easier for women. But what is the percentage of men that you think it's easier for them to get it? Do y'all think it's a higher percentage of men who can get sex from women, or it's a higher percentage of women who can get sex? Let me know. I should make a poll on it, but it's fine. Y'all let me know in the chat, because I as a woman, if you put yourself out there, trust me, it ain't too many men gonna turn you down. A lot of them will take advantage of that. They will. So I don't, yeah, it's just what it is. Michael says, DeeDee, have you heard I have not heard from Maverick, but shout out to Maverick. Maverick, if you watching, say hi. I wonder how he's doing. So I just want to say that for Maverick. Maverick, shout out to you if you're watching or listening, Maverick. And I hope all is well with you. But I have not heard from him. But if you're watching this, Maverick, let me know if you're okay, because I was wondering about that. Just wondering. But yeah, I just think it's ridiculous. Successful MD says they must be getting pregnant by bears, then, child. That Successful MD, that whole bear situation is just, it's just stupid. Let's just say that it's stupid. And I need to stop using that word, but it's hard to, because it's dumb. Like, yeah, and people say anything when they're not faced with it. If you come in contact with a big bear coming after you, they wouldn't say that. I listened to an audio recording of a woman who was actually mauled by a bear. And she wasn't saying, "Oh, I've got a bear here." No, she was fighting for her life. She was over there almost about to be done, because the bear had mauled her, and she needed help. Call 911. She almost lost her life. So I don't think, ask her if she would prefer the bear. I'm pretty sure she would tell you no. It's just that bear whole thing is just stupid to me. It really is. It really is. Let's continue.
You're saying that if you offered men an opportunity to women were offering men what they wanted and they didn't have to be in the game anymore, you're saying they would stay in the game because of greed, implying they could get more.
Yes, sir.
They don't get it, guys. They don't get it. They don't get it. No, ma'am. I just told you that makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense. How can guys, if 30% of men aren't having sex, why would they stay in the market if they were getting what they want from a woman?
To gain more.
More of what? What are they already getting if they're virgins?
We're not talking about the 30.
No. We're going to talk. No, yes, we are, because they are part of the 100. And see, that's the point. This is so foreign of a concept. No offense, man. I really mean no offense. But your mind can't even wrap your head around the concept. It doesn't even compute with you. It's like, well, I don't want to talk about that because that's so far outside of my. And all the men are like, what are you talking about? That's the real world. You can't get rid of the 30. That's there. So if 100% of men are out there and 30% under the age of 30 aren't having sex, if you gave men what they wanted, which is just a fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, childless companion, women were saying, okay, the majority of us are that. You say men would say, instead of taking you and going off and having consistent sex in a relationship, I would rather stay out here dating, spending my money, time, and opportunity for the possibility of sex. The possibility.
We know all men are not spending their money on women to have.
I don't really give a shit about the money aspect. See, you've lost. No. But the thing is, I'm not trying to be funny. That's not the point. The point is a bigger point. The point is you have just demonstrated why there's such a disconnect. You ladies have no idea what it's like to be a man. You are so disconnected from us because all your life is spent around talking to women and listening to their stories and everything else. And when I tell you about what's going on with men, you still think that, well, that's like this. That's like this. Okay, change it from men to women. You're hungry, right? You ever been to a restaurant and there was a wait and you're hungry? Right?
Yes.
All right. And there was this 2-hour wait, and the next closest restaurant is 40 miles away. Okay. And it's gonna be a wait there too.
Sure.
You sitting there waiting, and then they come along and say, well, we can sit you and your guest not at your favorite table. We can sit you at this booth, or we can sit you at the bar. And then right now, or you can wait 2 hours. What do you do?
I'm going to go sit at the bar because I want my
Thank you, because human beings are, thank you, and that's exactly what men are doing. If you give men what they want, how they want it, they'll sit at the bar. They won't wait to go have a chance to sit in out there or go to another restaurant. Thank you for making the point that you understand human beings operate on incentives.
Mm-hmm.
Now, just to ask, I want to ask, do y'all agree with what he's saying right there? So basically, listen, if you meet a woman who's going to give you what you want, then you'll typically go with that woman, right? Right? Y'all let me know if he's on point with that. If you got a woman who's giving you what you want, you don't need to go out anywhere else. You don't need to keep looking, essentially is what he's saying. Do y'all agree with that? Or do you find what you want and you just continue to go out and continuously dating? That wouldn't make any sense to me. Do y'all agree or disagree? Put agree or disagree with what he's saying, because I just want to be clear, because you hear a lot of people speaking for men, a lot of women speaking for men and saying what men are like and what men will do and what they won't do and how they are and all that. But you need to hear from the men. That's why I thought it was important to have men be able to speak on what it is that they want, what they agree with, what they don't, because everybody else is telling everybody what a man wants, what he doesn't want. So we need to hear from the horse's mouth. We need to know, what do you agree with what he's saying or disagree? Is he telling the truth or not? Because women tend to think they know more about men than men do. And when we start, finally start hearing from men, they shocked and appalled, like that's not what they want. That ain't the truth. Men sleep with more women than women do. And when we find out that's not it, they look shocked and appalled. So I think that's why it's important for men to speak out and say what it is. I don't care if they like it or not. They need to know it, because the narrative has been already put out there, what men like, how they are with it. And it's coming from women. It's not coming from men. Oh my God. Paul Harrison coming through with another generous super chat says, hey, DeeDee, women definitely have a higher sexual advantage than men. Of course. I wonder who taught her growing up. She seems extremely childish mentally. Yeah, some say she's slow, but I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that because I'm a nice person. So I'm not going to go there. But thank you once again, Paul. I appreciate your support for the channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. But yeah, she don't know what she's talking about. But look, growing up, I will say this is the kind of talking points you hear. This is what you hear. Oh, men are controlling. Men do this, men do that. And every time I heard that, it was coming from women. That's just what it is. So this is where a lot of women get it from. They didn't hear this from a man. They hear this kind of talk from women. Women are the ones who put all this out there. Women are the ones who told us men are this. They're controlling. A man will do this. A man will leave you. A man will do. They told us this. I've never heard a man say any of this because, growing up, we grew up in single parent households. What woman lead in a household? And this is what they have. This is what they said. Never had a conversation with a man to say, nah, this is not it. This is what I like, or that's not true. So this is where they get it from. They get all the information from women. So that's why they believe it. Thank you, Paul, for the super chat. I appreciate you, sir. Successful MD says, I don't think you can really know who's in sex. Thank you for the super chat, Successful MD. I appreciate you. Yeah, it's just crazy. It's insane, and this is what we see, a bunch of women telling other women, girl, this is what you're gonna do, and this is how men are and all that. And then when you hear men actually tell you what it is, they lose their minds and they fight against it. Sadly, our community is full of whorish people. Thank you for the super chat, Successful MD. That is sad. That's why I say it all the time. Everybody cares about is sex and money. Like nothing else matters. That's all they care about. And I think there's more to life than just that. Blue Exodus says, how many of KS female callers / detractors do you think voted for Harris? A whole bunch, all of them. They say they're boycotting sex with men because of Trump, called the 4B movement. LOL. Child. Listen, thank you, Blue Exodus, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Listen, first off, I heard that. And what I have to say to that is this, baby, y'all should not be boycotting sex because of Trump. Is ridiculous. First off, y'all should have been boycotting sex. You're doing it now because it's too late. Y'all already had y'all children with Pookies and Ray Rays, right? So you should have been had your priorities straight. Don't try to put it on a Trump situation that you're not gonna. So now you're not gonna. First, and you should have been boycotting it. You should have been realized that going out here having random sex with different men making babies was just not right. So don't put it on Trump now. Maybe the men out here are woke and they don't want to fool with y'all. So you have no other choice but the so-called boycotting. That's all on you. Y'all been whorish and made babies with the wrong men, and now you want to put it all on Trump? You think that's hurting somebody? No, you should have been had your priorities in order. You should have been had your protected your body, and not throwing yourself out there to random ninjas. So what in the now you want to, oh, we boy, who the heck, like it's the stupidest things ever that's we see happening, but it is what it is. But if this is what y'all got to do to stop being promiscuous, well, maybe it might be a good thing in the name of boycotting, because Trump, how does that make sense? But once again, if that's what y'all want to use to do it, then good. Maybe we'll have, less, unprotected sex out here, and STDs on the rise, and women making babies with anybody. Maybe that'll change it. So if anything, if in the name of boycotting Trump, then that might be a help for y'all. That might actually help you. It's insanity, but thank you for the super chat. Child, that's crazy. That is crazy. Farrell says she might be Rick James, long lost. Stop. Thank you for the super chat, Farrell. Y'all a mess. Child, this is, hell, in the end, this might be a good thing for y'all. So Trump will be helping you once again. This slow woman here and the weird woman who asked KS how to get back with her ex while married got to be the two worst callers on his show. RIP KS. And I remember that one, and I may pull that one up, because that one there, yeah, she threw me off for sure. Her and this one you talking about, Blue. Oh yeah, I remember it vividly. Oh, she was a hot mess. That's one of the next worst ones that came on that show. I couldn't believe that. I was like, what the? And she didn't see nothing wrong with it. But I may pull that one up too. But thank you, Blue Exodus, for the super chat. I appreciate you. It's just a hot mess. Y'all got to boycott having sex out of wedlock. You got to boycott that. And this what it took for y'all to realize that y'all whorish out here in these streets? That's what it took Donald Trump to become president? Wow. 4B equals no STDs for 4 years. Child. Pharaoh. Thank you for the super chat. It's a mess. God dang. And so y'all should be thanking him in that case. It took him to become president for you to realize that you shouldn't be out here just throwing that cooch all over the place. Man, let's continue.
That's how men operate too. Men will say, if you give me what I want right now, I don't need I'll take the bar. The bar is a woman giving men what they want. They won't go out here and say, well, I'll try for a better seat. Does that make sense?
That's a restaurant, of course. We're gonna move fast.
Holy shit!
But if a man wants to go see their favorite, no,
you're gonna let me talk. It's my show. But no, you're acting like. Do you understand why people use sports analogies to explain the complex concepts?
I don't think she
do.
I do, yeah.
Because people can relate. I used the restaurant analogy because the sexual marketplace seems to be outside of your ability to relate, but you can relate to a restaurant. And now you're going to tell me, no, those things are different.
Mrs. Tammy, when you used your analogy, when you used your point, when you say if you walk in the room and 100 men in there, how many do you want to have sex? You took the 30 out of it. So when it comes to my
no, I said if you walked into a room with 100 men and you said I'm down to fuck 100 of you, how many would smash?
But you took the 30% of virgins out of that 100.
No, ma'am, that's the sexual marketplace. There's a millions. And even, let's take it that way. Even if it was 30% virgins, those virgins would fuck you. If you were offering free pussy to a virgin, no cost, no zip, are you crazy?
And then there goes
you be going off.
Your other point is invalid when it comes
no, it's
to
not.
that. When
guys,
it comes to dating,
I want you guys to understand. I'm going to upload this. This is really female logic.
Yeah.
This is really what it is. This is really
smart.
What it is. She thinks she's really making points.
I am.
Girl, no, you not.
I
ma'am.
am, Mr. Samuels.
Ma'am, no, you not, ma'am. No, you're not, unfortunately. Divine Photo says, watching all this content from KS, Kendra and Ashley, more of these women make it seem they are angels, but are the ones that want sex more than men. Obviously. Exactly. I agree. I know it's a fact. Women, yeah. And there was article or whatever that said that women, are more sexually active than men. They're out here. Yeah, they are. We see it because it's easier for them to get it. So if you have easier access to it and you want it and you just get it. That's why the whole empowerment thing is so important for women, because once they felt like, they're empowered to go out and just sleep with whoever, they started doing more of it. There's no shame in their game. This is why you hear people saying bring shame back. Why? Because shame minimizes this promiscuous sexual activity. People will try to hide it at least. They're more open with it. They talk about threesomes and what is it? Trains being ran on them like it's nothing. They're open about it because society has made them feel like it's empowerment. I'm empowered. Yes, I feel free to get a train ran on me. I feel so empowered to just sleep and do whatever I want. And we don't have to be shamed behind it. There's no shame anymore. So they feel empowered to go out and do it. And then when somebody say, oh, ma'am, how many of you have been with 1,000 men or 100 men or even 40 men or even 10 men, 20 men? We don't want you. Then they feel bad about it because men are saying, oh, hell no, I don't, hey, if you giving it out, I'll take some men, but most men are like, I ain't wifing you up. I ain't making you the mother of my children. I'm not giving you my last name. I don't want to be associated with you like that. I'll go at midnight and screw you, but I'm not going to wife you up and I'm not going to take you seriously. I'm not going to bring you home to my parents. You're not going to embarrass me. I don't want to go out in the streets and everywhere we go, this ninja over here and that ninja over there and been with you. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to be the laughing stock of the man who done wife you up, knowing all these men done been with you and know what you look like. See, women don't understand that. They don't understand that's how men look at it because they told themselves, oh, it's empowerment. It's never been empowerment. It's never been a thing to be happy about, being promiscuous and do. That's never been the thing to do. That nobody's ever looked at with 304s and said, oh, they're those are the women I want. Men have never went after women in a serious way who've been promiscuous. It's never been that way. Of course, you're the fun girl. They'll go out and have fun with you, yeah, because they want sex and that's it. And so this is why women are, oh, I could get a man. I have all kind of men in my DMs. And what? Yeah, if you out here having sex and you actually giving it up, yeah, you will have a lot of men because they want some. If you're going to give them some, majority of them going to take it. So that's it, though. So this is why women need to be aware of this. They're not taking you seriously, though. They're not looking at you as potential wives and mothers. No. And there are women who do sex work who will argue that and say, well, why would a man, and they have a problem with it. That you on tape doing God knows what with God knows who, and you think a man is going to be proud to say, this is my wife, and yes, and looking around, other men know her and said, damn, she had a mouth on me, she did this, she did that, I skeeted on her and all that. Like, who wants that, child? Who's going to take you seriously? Like, stop. And they mad about it now because they realize that's what you chose to do. That's your career. That's your life. So be it. But it doesn't mean that it's acceptable amongst men. And it's never been, to be honest. It's never been. Thank you, Divine Photos, for the super chat. I appreciate you, sir. Once again, Successful MD says, nope, he was president before. No sex boycott. Thank you, Successful MD. I think they want to forget that he was president and things didn't fall apart. It didn't fall apart when he was president, and now they claim it's going to be so bad and all that. It actually was better when he was president. I'm just saying, if everybody be honest. We didn't have these issues that we're having now. So, I mean, I don't understand it. I'm Twan. I hope I'm twos. I hope I'm saying that right. All of this uproar over the right to delete babies. Oh my God, child. Oh my God. Thank you for that super chat. And I appreciate that comment because, right, this is what they're fighting for. I mean, It's insane when you think about it. This is what y'all fighting for. You want a woman as president, and you're fighting to delete babies. Let that sink in. I let it sink in, and I'm just like, this is a damn shame. Thank you once again. I appreciate the super chat, child. It's just insanity. It really is. But this, and this is what the Harris campaign ran on. And it's probably why she lost. I'm just saying. Just saying. Let's continue.
I wholeheartedly, I really feel like men are greedy. Men are really out to get, it's to the highest bidder. Whoever has the most value, whoever parents, whoever family comes from the most fortune, that's the woman that wins. I have worked so many places before I became a social worker.
This is why women shouldn't be in charge of nothing.
Can I finish?
Oh, don't do that. Okay. This is why women shouldn't be in charge of nothing. I'm serious, man. You're talking about out of men, 100% of men. What percentage of men are you talking about?
I'm talking about 75% of men.
So, ma'am, the 75% doesn't even line up with the 30% of the virgin. You can't be greedy and a virgin.
But you just said that if I was to walk in a room and the 30% of virgins was there, the virgins would have.
Ma'am, do you understand? Do you understand an example and a closed? Okay. See, there's something called like an example where you're putting like a little test case over here, and then there's the real world. You're an educated woman. You should be able to bounce between these concepts. You're trying to make it all the same thing. And this is what I told you guys. Men's minds are like waffles. We can compartmentalize and logically move through things. 1 0 1 0, open, close, on, off. We can do that much easier. Women's minds are like spaghetti. Everything touches. The logic runs through their feelings. That's why she keeps saying, I feel. Because to them, it's all one stream of consciousness. So to her, she really believes she is just on this logical path. And she doesn't realize that all the men are sitting back saying, you're talking about a small set of men extrapolating it out to all. Men are greedy. How can men, the average black man in this country earns $42,000? Okay? Right. That's $21 an hour. How can a man whose average earner be greedy in the sexual marketplace?
Because they date women that have money. So when they date women that have money and they date women that comes from a family with money,
the average black woman in this country earns $37,000. So fully 50% of black men, 50% earn 42. 50% of black women earn 37. 74% of black women earn less than $50,000. And you're talking about these people who come from families and money. 80% of our children are from single parent households. You are talking about the top 10%. And you're talking about it like it's 100%.
Right.
The numbers are against you.
She don't get
the numbers.
Oh man, please don't. Just understand what I said.
Okay.
You are talking about women with money. 74% of black women earn less than $25 an hour or less. Would you consider $50,000 to be money?
No, absolutely not.
So by 9% of black women earn $75,000 or more. 9. What do you consider to be money for a woman?
Their range. You just said 75,000 or more.
So you're talking about 9%, and I said 10.
It doesn't matter.
I just said you're talking about the top 10% of. She don't get it. I said you're talking about the top 10% of women as far as earnings.
Ooh, just
like
shit. Let me. Ooh, girl, child. I was like, when I first saw this video, I was just like, I know you lying. But this is supposedly an educated woman. This is the mentality. This is how they think. You don't understand what he's saying? This is a shit show. You can't at least get that. And that was mind-boggling to me then. It's mind-boggling to me now. But this is the feelings and the, oh, Mr. Samuels, you're wrong. I'm so right. I know what I'm talking about. No, you don't. But this is the feelings and what I believe and I supersede actuality and facts. Because I'm a woman and you're just supposed to take what I say. And this is how a lot of them talk amongst each other. Just a circle of buffoons. Y'all just sit there and y'all talk this shit. What she's saying to each other. And then they all go, what y'all call it, the echo chamber. And then you tell that to the other one who don't know nothing. And then all y'all, but yeah, y'all went to college. Hell, there's a lot of women that went to college and don't know what's 5 times 10. We seen that. You don't know a simple math and you've been to college. Yes. So this is what they do. They all sit around and they talk how she's talking and they all repeat that and go out and, oh yeah, this is what it is. And you believe the hype. And then when somebody with logical sense come and tell you, no, you're wrong. Oh my God, now you're mad and you're shaming and belittling them. That's just how it goes. And once again, this is not all women. I'm not putting all women in that category. But for the ones who it applies to. But this is how a lot of women think, and it's scary. It really is. But that's what the thing is. They done sat there for too long, and they done told each other this same stuff over and over and over, and now it's on autopilot. They believe it. It's deep. It's deep in their brains, child. This is what they know. This is what they believe. They've all told each other, yes, girls, this is it. Don't listen to what they say because they don't know nothing. Oh, these dumb, then it be the dumb people calling other people dumb. Because you believe what you're saying, and even though it's not the truth, you believe it, and so it's the truth in your mind, and that's all that matters. This is why we see people who don't believe in statistics. You don't believe nothing that's out there. You believe you and your group of the women in your circle who all agree. That's it. Anything outside of that, you don't want to hear it. You don't want to, you don't want it in your brain because what you believe is the facts. It's the truth to you, and that's all that matters. Successful MD says they understand but choose to disagree. That's true. Yeah. Which you don't want to hear anything else. You don't want to open your brain up to any other possibilities. But what you've told yourself, what you believe. Thank you, Successful MD, for the super chat. And so you stay stuck there. No matter what else comes out of this, no matter if other people are getting a different outcome, instead of you trying to see what did they do or trying to open yourself up to something more, what do? You shame them the same way they shame married women. You shame married women because you can't get it. Oh, and there's something that got to be wrong. This is where that comes from. Oh, something got to be wrong with her marriage. Oh, she probably ain't happy. Or I bet her man cheating on her. Well, you can sit over there and assume and feel and believe what you want because that's what you're used to doing. But for the ones who are out here feeling and thinking all that, well, operative words that you should be focused on, the fact that the women that you're talking about and calling pick-me's, guess what they have? They have husbands, something you probably will never get. They have husbands. They have a family. They're thriving. You're complaining. You're trying to shame married women because you ain't got a husband and never probably will. Oh, but a husband ain't the end all be all, but you want one, right? Don't you? Most of these women would love to. You ask any woman, would you love to be married and have a good man? They'll for the right man, but period, you want that. But if you really think it's so bad and so this, why do you still want it? Just like they talk about men, but y'all still out here trying to get one. You think if men so bad the way they say, you would just be like, nah, I don't ever want a man. I'm done. I'm moving on. I'll just be a lesbian or whatever you want to do. No, y'all still out here trying to get one though. Make it make sense. It don't. Y'all still on these dating apps. Y'all still out here trying to date men. Y'all still trying to find somebody to be in your life because you really want it. It's insanity. Let's continue because this is crazy.
Like the average guy is going after 9% of women. Do men choose women based on money first?
Here we go.
Yes, absolutely. Oh my God, that's the perfect question. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
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 Absolutely.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Where you from, man? Where you from, man?
I'm from Mississippi.
Mississippi goddamn variants. I swear to God. When people are poor, they honestly believe, especially when you're poor-minded. So men pick women based on money.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Status. Yes.
No, man. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's not even, I don't even want to do this, but I'm gonna do it.
Right.
I'll make you famous.
You're gonna become famous,
Yeah.
man. Because men pick women based upon looks first.
She said, hell no. Look at
In the comment section, gentlemen. Man, were you raised with your father?
I was.
Yay.
Do you have any brothers?
I don't.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh no.
And you're how old again?
29.
29.
You've been wrong on fully about 80% of the things that have come out of your mouth.
Lord.
And you haven't, and it doesn't matter if I use facts, data. You can go, and you're a social worker, go pull it all this for yourself. You're saying that men pick women based upon the money. Okay, then that's the question. Why do you have women like Jill Scott? What was that woman's name? Down here in Georgia. Ran for governor. Stacey, whatever her name is.
Oh yeah, the lady with you.
Mm-hmm. Why do you have these women who are chronically single if men pick women based upon money first? Why do black women report the more education they have and the more money they make being less married?
I don't know.
She don't know, and that's the problem.
Well, according to what you say, men pick women based upon money first.
Yeah.
But according to the numbers, they don't. Stacey Abrams, successful woman. She has money. Where's her husband? Gabrielle Sidibe. She had to go get an average-looking white dude. Do you want to retract that statement?
I don't. I stand on it, and I believe that. I mean, that's just some women. I mean, some women that you're not. Oprah. Oprah has a man.
Oprah's unfucking married.
She's not married, but she has money.
Exactly. Thank you.
But she could be married if she.
No, she couldn't. No, she couldn't.
Oprah could not be married to Stedman if she wanted to.
First of all, I move Oprah to the side because Oprah there's a question about something. Man, why? So, what do men choose women based upon? If women choose men based upon money, what do men choose women based upon?
Men choose women based upon money. Women pick men solely off love.
Girl, Lord, child.
Ooh.
This is
a social worker, y'all.
Right. This is some shit right here.
I'm to the point.
This is what I say. They really believe it. All these women out here looking for men who make, but see, it's the cat is out the bag now. You know, the thing about Kevin Samuels, he was saying all this kind of before it got to it where it is now. Like it was already there, but you know, unfortunately, after he did all these videos, it's like right after, and unfortunately, this man passed away, Lord. Gone too soon, in my opinion. All of this just hit the fan. And we see that it's like after this, all the women came out and really exposed themselves. They want this man with all these six figures and all this. So women are out here. I just need to get to the bag. I need a man to pay for me, pay for this, pay for that, pay my bills. It just hit the fan. It all just came out, proving what he had been saying prior to all of this. These women tell you to this day, I need a man. This is why they don't have a man, because they're too superficial. You want a man to pay your rent, pay all your bills. You don't even want to go 50-50. You know, the cat is out the bag. You want a man to provide a lifestyle for you. He has to make 6 figures. He have to have this. He have to have that. So if they were looking for men solely on love, the money wouldn't even be an issue. It's what I speak about now. Like, no, you don't want a man for love. You say you want a good man. You really don't. You just want a man to pay your bills. So what is that? You want a man solely on money. And they've told us. They've exposed it. You know, this is where I wish these women could come back and see if you still think the same way. And some of them probably do, which is mind-blowing. It is. This is why I always say it's the mentality, it's how you think. It's not about the money, it's how you think. Even women who make good money, you still want a man to come in and pay all the bills. You don't want to spend your money. So how is that not women looking for men solely? They looking for a man solely for love. Huh? You got to be kidding me. But this is the mindset.
Well, I don't even want to make any jokes because this is so sad. No, ma'am.
It's the truth.
You are danger. And you advise other women?
I do. Absolutely. Yes. I do. Absolutely. Yes.
Ma'am, you really should have said that.
Why? It's the truth. I wouldn't lie to you. It's the truth.
Because you shouldn't be advising anybody. This woman actually says men pick women based upon money. Then if that's the case, why do women who have PhDs and MBAs and everything else, why aren't they married? Especially in our community. Because we have the most educated women, right?
Yeah.
Okay, why do we have the lowest marital rate?
Sometimes
one in four black women will marry anybody. Not just black men. 1 in 4 black women will marry in their lifetime. So you can't make it a black man issue. If men excuse me, you're not gonna fucking put this on black men. I will destroy you if you try that shit. I said okay, as long as you don't try that, we can have the conversation, but 1 in 4 black women will marry in their lifetime. If we have the most educated, meaning making money and education, then why are they the least married? If men choose women based upon status.
Some women are very busy. They have busy schedules. Some educated women have very busy schedules. So they really don't have time to date.
Talk to me about, excuse me, ma'am. I don't want to talk about, see what you do is when you start losing the argument, you start to deflect to the minority. Talk to me about the majority. 50% of the women in question who are educated, but yet 1 in 4 were married. Don't talk to me about some. Talk to me about the majority. Why are 1 in 4 marrying? And actually, the marital rate drops
as more educated
black women go up in education and up in income.
You know it to be true.
Which is an up in status. Why does marriage drop? Don't tell me about the ones that are some that are too busy. If men pick women based on if men pick women based on status, why are these higher status women more unmarried?
I believe that they get to the point where it's like, I've been single, I've been alone by myself, or while they're getting their education, they're dating, but it's just not a connection.
Shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. Ma'am, you just contradicted your own point and you won't stop.
Baby, she is what I call lost in the sauce, child. She ain't gonna get, and there a lot of them unfortunately are. You're lost in the damn sauce, deep down in the sauce. You know, it's accountability. You know, she's thinking what she feeling, what she believe, and we see that is not. We see it even more now. We watch the women who are successful. What's that lady who got a surrogate to have a baby? What is her name again? What is her name, y'all? The one who had a baby. What is her? I don't be remembering these people's names. but she got a surrogate. She can't keep a man in a relationship, so she finally just got a baby. She's very successful. They want what the Ebony K. Williams. Thank you. I think it's with his high waist 20 skinny. Thank you so much for that. Yes, Ebony K. Williams got a baby now. No man, you can't work with a man because you're so successful and so masculine and so independent. And these men don't want to deal with your attitudes and all of that, all this stuff that comes with that. So these men are not marrying these women who are educated and highly successful because it's a mentality that comes with it. And they try to shame these men too, but these women don't know how to work with a man. They really don't. They're so successful. It's successful. It's running them crazy. They're so independent. They're so what I call I don't know, they're entitled. The entitlements that come with those women who have worked so hard to establish themselves, they feel like a man should be bowing down to them. They feel like a man should cater to them. A man should come into their world and do the most for them. And then on top of that, they're highly successful and they're highly, delusional, and they're highly entitled. So they think even though they're successful, they make a lot of money, they still want a man who comes in and makes more than them. They have a certain type. They still want a man who comes in and make way more money than them and provide and continue their lifestyle, even though they're successful. They don't believe they need to share because they feel like women feel like as women, when women are successful and make a lot of money, they don't want to share. They don't want to share. They feel like because I'm a woman, somehow you're an adult who's supposed to be able to take care of yourself. But they feel like if they are successful and they put in the work and the time and made all this money, that they need to keep theirs. But when it comes to successful men who put in the work and work hard and accomplish certain things, they think you're supposed to come in and just share all of what you've got with them, no problem. In the name of, men's supposed to be providers. Yeah, but women are supposed to be certain things too. But a lot of these modern, educated, independent women are not what men expect them to be either. So, and there's no compromise. You think that as a woman, you worked hard, you're successful, come in. Now you got to come in and make what I make or more because I want you to spend everything on me and I just keep mine because I worked hard and I'm a woman. So I'm entitled to keep what I got. But as a man, you're supposed to just come splurge and give all yours to this woman, even though it's more of an incentive for her to walk away. She's entitled to your money. She's entitled to your time. She's entitled to everything that you have, but you're entitled to nothing that she has. Where is that going to work? That's never going to work. And it's not going to work. And I think that's why they're by themselves. They when they say they've priced themselves out, they literally have. And so no man is going to be good enough for them in their minds because you've gotten and yourself to a certain level financially. And if a man can't match or meet that, or it's not even just the money, because even if he matches that or meets that or goes beyond that, he still wants a certain type of woman too. He wants a feminine, cooperative woman as well. He doesn't want an entitled, spoiled woman who just think that you owe her the world and she don't have to do nothing for you. They take their finances and their accomplishment in that way as the end all be all. Look, I'm financially stable. I don't really need you. So you better come correct. That's the mentality that a lot of these educated women have because they're successful. She thinks she's better than you. So you got to think that you're beneath her. You got to know as a man that if you don't make with that woman, she make millions of dollars and you don't make it, you got to dim yourself down and say, oh, well, she does make a lot of money. So I am not really, if she wants to give me the time of day, I should be appreciative of that. And as a man, you're supposed to go in with that mindset, like she don't need me. So I need to prove to her that I'm they want you to prove to them that you can be with them. So that means you got to go out of your way to please this woman, do everything she wants. And she's going to continue to be who she is. She's not going to do anything to work with you and try to please you. She's going to be entitled and you got to be her wingman. You got to come into her life and and give her the world. You know what I mean? For her to have a little ounce of respect for you. And men are not trying to do that. No man is trying to do that. And on top of it, if you're super successful, you ain't got time for that either. This is why those relationships will never work. And this is why these women, you better go and freeze your eggs and do that because that's how you're going to get your baby. And now you become a single mother and you got money, take care of your kid and take care of yourself and keep it moving. Because a relationship is not in your path. That's not going to work for you. And if you fine with that, that's fine. But that's why that happens. Successful MD says, how do they have time for sex and create babies? A lot of them don't. Thank you for the super chat. And you know, they just think because they make money that men are just going to flock to them and they're going to have the pick of the litter, and they don't. And you're getting older and you're more entitled. No, a man would be better off going and get a woman who is not as entitled. And then they try to shame you for that. Oh, well, you want a woman who's working at McDonald's. She's attractive, but she's dumb and she doesn't have a brain and all this kind of stuff. Try to shame them thinking that they just want dumb women. No, I don't think nobody, I just, they go to the extremes. They go to the extremes. And that's not the case for the majority. I don't think that's what it is, but that's a way of belittling them and shaming and belittling young women too, to say that all young women are just dumb and don't have a brain. And that's what you want because she can't think for herself. No, they just don't want you entitled, spoiled, and independent because you work hard. These men work hard too. So they work hard, but they're not out here saying, no, I just want you for your money. They want somebody, the ones who really want something, really want a stable relationship. I think they're putting all men into one category. You're putting them into the Pookie Ray Ray category, and that's how all men are, and that's not. Let's continue.
You said men pick women on status, and I'm saying why are the women that have more status less married? You said men pick women based on status. And you have to explain why the women who have higher status are less married.
They choose not to be. They choose not to be after.
This is your enemy, gentlemen.
Execute Order 66.
I'm going to be honest, man. I'm going to be honest. This conversation ranks right up there with that smile conversation I had. Black women not wanting to smile at black men. This is one of the saddest conversations I've had with a black woman in my life.
It is.
And the fact that nothing I'm saying, none of the data, none of it is moving you off of your erroneous, false, demonstrably erroneous percent. You're just doubling and tripling down. You haven't opened your mind and say, well, maybe, well, that doesn't really make sense. Or maybe that's what I thought or felt, but let me go back and you doubled and tripled down. Do you have a son or a daughter?
I have a son.
Holy shit. Let me ask you something, okay? And I mean no disrespect. I really don't. I really don't. But are you trolling me?
Nope. She's not trolling.
Are you trolling me?
She's dead serious. No, she ain't trolling.
Well, even if we were talking as just two educated people, ma'am, do your feelings trump facts?
No.
So if you feel something is one way or another, and facts are presented to show you the opposite, do you change your mind?
Sometimes I have to, yeah.
Sometimes. Okay. Why would you not change your mind?
If I have this just gut feeling, if I just had this strong feeling, I won't waver off of it. So
if facts, impartial, you can be proven factually that something is correct, true, right. You're saying that as an educated woman, that there are times where you'll sit back and just ignore the facts based upon a strong gut feeling.
Yes.
Is that how you're going to raise your son?
off my morals, yes.
That's not morals. Are you going to raise your son to look at facts that he can verify and prove, scientific method or whatever, and then say, I'm going to go off my strong gut feeling? Is that how you're going to raise your son?
Yes.
We have another young black statistic, y'all. And I'm serious. People think I hate black women, and I do this to show you the sickness in our community.
And then, and so they'll raise their son like that. And then when he gets older and he acts that way, then, we talked about this before, how those are the same men that grow up, and these are the same men that women complain about. But they don't want to acknowledge the fact that these men were raised by single mothers. They don't want to attribute, they don't want to go to the root of it. These men who y'all complain about, talking about they've sassy, they were raised by women. But you don't want to focus on that point. They were raised by single mothers. So, and knowing that, if why would you continue to try to perpetuate this single motherhood lifestyle? And it should even further, show that single mother way of raising children, women, young boys and young girls, is not beneficial. Then, if y'all think men are sassy and y'all got a problem with them, then you shouldn't be promoting this single motherhood. You shouldn't be saying, hey, I can have a child by myself and raise it, and y'all raise my boys under just you. You shouldn't be pushing that. You should understand that then if you complaining about the young men and calling them sassy and they were raised by women, shouldn't you think outside of that and say, you know what, I don't want to be a single mother. I don't want to raise my sons and my daughters by themselves. They need fathers. We need two parents in the household. Shouldn't you marry before you carry and have children with your husband, and a man who wants a family and is gonna want to raise his son, not somebody who you're just sleeping around with and don't care about children or want children? That's who you give the children to? Even though now you say, oh, these men are they want to, they're the prize and they're feminine. But if they're feminine, they were raised by, all y'all was raised by the same mama. So shouldn't that show you something that is not the way to go? But they don't put two and two together. You just out here doing whatever it is that you want and then complaining about it and then blaming somebody. Like, that is not a recipe for success. But then on top of that, you want the most out of all of your foolery. I swear, it's one of those things you can't really put it into words. Like, wow. The people who are the most reckless feel and believe that they deserve the most. The most reckless ones feel and believe that they deserve top tier men, top tier money, top tier everything. So what do the people who have been focused and prioritized the right things their entire lives, what do they deserve? Why is it all in one pot? Why is there no separation? So women who might be a woman who's a virgin and not promiscuous and holding herself for marriage and prioritizing and focusing on what it is to be a wife and preparing for that and making herself aware of what men want and the desires of a man, and she's presenting herself in a way that is desirable to a man, to a husband, and focusing on that since she was young and all of that and grow up. So what does she deserve? Because right now, the way they put it, she would be in the same category as a 304 who've been screwing since she was 15, all kind of men, body count high, got 2 baby daddies, 2 kids, still out here, don't know nothing about a man, don't care about it, was raised to be independent boss chick. She's asking for a top tier man to provide for her 100% of the time. She don't want to work. She don't want to give nothing, but he's supposed to pay for her, take care of her 2 kids, and do all this. Why is she entitled to the same things that this woman who prioritize and know what a man wants and is feminine, fit, friendly, all the things that men say they want? Why are they in the same category? When did the shift happen? When did this change? How are you desiring way more, might I add, than the woman who actually prepared for a man and looking to give a man what he wants. How is she the reckless one requiring way more than this woman who prioritizes a man is looking for? Why is that the case? Tell me, how does that make sense? Even the women who are prioritizing themselves for marriage are not asking for all these unrealistic things that these 304s are asking for. But in their minds, they're doing what they're supposed to do. They will not settle because they know their worth. It'll never make sense. Let's continue.
You really believe this is right? This is. I'm just. I don't even need to say anything else. The world is different for men than for women. Women can get away more with doing things that way. You do realize this is why so many young black men are in jail, because they go off on their feelings based upon their facts. But then you sit around and turn around in the same group of women talking about black men can't produce. You don't make enough money to provide. But you, ma'am, are the kind of woman that raises a boy to go off of his feelings, his strong gut. How do you think that's going to set your son up to compete with men of other races?
I don't know. I haven't thought about that.
How old is your son?
12.
When the fuck do you think you should start thinking about it? I'm not being funny, man. I'm not trying to talk to you seriously. You're raising a 12-year-old black boy. And you're telling everybody in here that I'll raise him to believe in his gut over things that he can see is true. And you want him to go out into that dangerous world
off of a feeling. And
what's going to protect him if his senses and his logic doesn't? What's supposed to protect him?
Morals, values.
Feelings are not morals. You keep calling things morals. These are feelings. You're not supposed to emotionally respond. You're supposed to intellectually react. And you guys wonder why we have so many emotional young black men, because this is their mother.
Yep.
And they make it sound like a virtue. Morals. This isn't morals. It's illogical, feelings-based thinking.
What's wrong with having emotions? What's wrong with acting?
When it is opposite to observable, verifiable truth, facts. When 2 + 2 is 4, and you still say, I believe it's 3, because that's my morals.
Yeah, that's how you sound, girl.
I'm serious. What, do you not understand that?
She don't.
I get that.
Really? I don't know.
So what's the question?
It's no question, Mr. Samuels. I was just listening.
No, I'm asking what's the question, because you're saying what's wrong with having morals. Man, morals is right or wrong.
Right.
Facts are prove or disprove.
Right.
2 + 2 is 4. What is the right or wrong in that equation?
Listen, child. Listen, she never was gonna get it. She never was gonna get it. She never was gonna get it. It's just, this is the mentality for a lot of women. Unfortunately, you believe what you believe. You could put the truth right in front of you, and you still not gonna believe it. And we see women out here when presented with the truth. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. So There's no helping you. There's no fixing this. You're going to believe what you want to believe, no matter how much the truth serum could be in your face. You still going to believe what you believe. And that's just how it is. There's no fixing it. There's no, changing the mentality of these women. They are cooked. You're cooked. And that's it. And then if you don't learn anything better and teach it to your children, they're going to be cooked too. And the world is very different for women and men. And this is something women have to acknowledge, but they don't. They think it's the same for women and men. They think that everything is the same, and it's not. You think the things that apply to you applies to men, and what you do, a man could just do it and it's all good. And it's not. And that's because, once again, they were raised by women and they don't understand the nature of a man, how men got to maneuver in this world, and how things apply differently to men and specifically Black men. So they're just going off their feelings, emotions. They believe what they believe, and that's just it. You don't want to hear any other narrative. You don't want to believe or, anything, any evidence put in front of you or anything. You just have a gut feeling and that's what you believe, and you're going to go with it. That is very dangerous. It really is. And once again, this video, this lady was so off the mark. It was mind-boggling and very disturbing. And so this is why this is why I'm not really for the whole sisterhood and the, you know what I'm saying? Everything they say you believe and this is just what it is. And, believe all women. No, look, I once again, and I'll say this because, I get pegged as, oh, you don't like women. No, it's not that. I'm not for the bullshit. I'm not for the BS. If you're wrong, you're wrong. I don't care who you are. There are men who are wrong and there are women who are wrong. We can't have this narrative that all women are just perfect and they're always right. That's insanity to me. It's like, I'm gonna hold my sons accountable and let my daughters just do whatever they want. Hell to the goddamn no. No. But these are the same women who want to be treated equally. You want equality. You want to be able to be equal as a man. But you lied. You don't really want to be. You want to be the victims. But you want men to be looked at in a negative light, and you want everybody to look at you as something high and mighty and powerful. This is why they're crashing out once again over Kamala Harris losing the presidency. Because having that woman as a president makes them feel empowered. It's a symbol to them that, we are what we think we are. But when they didn't get it, they're crashing out because now they feel small. Now they feel like, well, damn, that's not a signal for us to be empowered. That's the opposite, and they don't know what to do. I mean, crying, which I'm going to post some videos on that. So make sure you guys are watching the videos that are posted on the channel, because I'm going to post some videos of more women crashing out. They really lost. They don't know. They lost control. They don't know what to do. That was the last hope for them. Let's get a woman in president, and somehow we're going to feel great. We can walk with our heads up high because we are really not the 304s they telling us we are. We're empowered to be promiscuous. We're empowered to go out and be single mothers and all of this. And this just solidifies that. That's how they thinking. Listen, I can't come up with any other reason as to why they crashing out over who the president is. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't. It doesn't. It's insane. But this is how they think. And when you realize, and like I said, as a woman, I know how women think. And I know it. This is not, I just didn't come into this knowledge today. I know how they think. I know how they move. I know why they do. And this is and I know that it's a bunch of BS. And I know, women don't like these conversations because it holds them accountable. As long as you're telling them what they want, you're good with them. As soon as they don't get what they want, they crashing out and they mad. And that's just that. They're in their feelings. But once again, you need to hear the things that you need to hear. You need to hear something that will hold you accountable and make you better. If you're talking about being better, and who doesn't want to be better? Who doesn't want to make their lives better. You want better, but you don't want to do better. You want something for nothing. And it's got to stop. Pharaoh says, you're going to post Cardi B vid. Pharaoh, send me the video. Send it to me if you have it. Thank you for the super chat. So, I mean, this whole gender war thing is far from over, because they really just gonna find a reason to blame men, no, regardless of what. They blaming black men again on the voting, the president. They just, and it's just not going to get any better anytime soon. That's just what it is. And frankly, I think a lot of them are scared. And I don't think it was just because of who the president is. They were scared before. They see what's happening. And the only glimmer of hope that they had was that, oh, we get a woman in office. Maybe she's going to see our needs, and maybe she's going to, help us keep our Section 8 and all that. Maybe she thought that they were going to come in and make sure that their government assistance was good. Or maybe they thought that she was going to get in and give them better jobs and pay them more. I don't know what they was thinking, because none of that is what she promised. So I don't know what y'all thinking y'all was going to gain from, her being in office, other than you feeling like you're empowered by it. Yes, Farrah on Instagram. Send it to me on Instagram. So yeah, it was just a mess. Boy, I really wish KS could be here to see all of this and really, still do his video stuff on this, because it's needed. We need something other than what we have when it comes to these, because and it's just a mess. That's all I said. I said before, it's become entertainment now, and it's funny, and it's a joke, but it's still really sad. It really is. And it's almost a lost cause. It's like, my goodness, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And I don't think they see it. They see it, but they don't want to acknowledge it. And I don't know if they ever will. So it's just interesting. And I think it's, I'm glad that we can go back on these videos, because Kevin Samuels was saying this when it wasn't popular, when women had not heard this kind of these talking points, and they were opposed to it, heavily opposed to it, to the point they hated the man. And now this is all we hear. Everybody's talking. And it's not just black people. All demographics are talking about it, because a lot of these women have exposed of everything that he was talking about. That's why they hated it, because they knew it was the truth. They knew it was the truth, but they hated to acknowledge it. Now it's just everywhere. Everybody knows it. Now men are privy to the nature of these types of women. They are woke. They realize what's out here, and they're not falling for it. And I think that's where these women are going to have a problem. That's where they're having a problem. And they're going to continue to have a problem, because they don't see it, or they do see it. They just don't want to accept it. And as long as you stay in denial and you stay in that delusional state, you're hindering yourself. And if you teach this to your children, then you're hindering them as well. And I like to point this out. Listen, I'm not saying that all men are just so great, Nick. No, because a lot of these men were raised in toxic, the men and women were raised in toxic homes. They didn't get all the right information. And if they were raised by their mothers, they didn't have a father there to teach them how to be a man and how to be a father and how to be good for a woman. Just like the women were not taught by their single mothers how to be for a man, how to be a wife. And they didn't teach them any wife material. They didn't teach them how to be in a relationship, because they didn't know. They didn't know, because their mothers were more than likely were single mothers, and they kept it going, kept the party rolling. Your mother was a single mother. You became a single mother. Now your kids are single mothers. So you're not getting the information. Y'all all in the same boat. You got the mothers competing with the daughters. Y'all all still out here lost, running by yourselves, still trying to figure it out, and you're not getting the outcome. And it makes you depressed and angry and sad and bitter and confused. So nobody's getting the information. So somebody got to give you the information. Somebody got to pick it up at some point. You got to see the other side of it. All men aren't bad, just like all women aren't bad. Everybody's not out here trying to use you. Everybody's not out here a deadbeat. Everybody's not out here just these horrible creatures. But you got to learn how to distinguish who's good and who's bad. You got to learn how to understand if you're the bad one. If you're good or bad, do you have the characteristics of a good person? Were you given this information? Are you the toxic one? Are you the entitled one? Are you the selfish, entitled person that you don't like? Because a lot of times people talk about what they don't want because it's a mirror image of who they are. They know who they are and they don't want it in another person. But at the same time, you want to acknowledge, yeah, I'm selfish, I'm entitled, but I don't want a man that's, you don't want what you know you are. Without acknowledging it and trying to change it or work on yourself. So that's a selfish thing within itself, to want something opposite of what you are and you're not even trying to change who you are. It's good to be self-aware, but you need to also be making changes on those things that you know are toxic and intolerable for anybody else. But no, you want to be who you are, be toxic, just stay in your trauma, and you want a man to be whole. You want him to have everything that you are not, and you want him to come in and fix you and change you and better you. You know, you don't realize how stressful and taxing that might be on that person. That this man might not want somebody that he has to come in and change your whole life and better you. That's work. Y'all think that's easy? And the more toxic you are and combative you are, that's more work he has to do just for her to still try, still walk away. Nah, ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. That's too much. The entitlements are too much. As opposed to coming in, knowing who you are, knowing your issues and working on them, and working with somebody else that might have some issues, and y'all build together. That building together seems obsolete these days. These people don't want to do that. They want to stay in their traumatic, selfish ways, but they want you to come in whole, all together, all the money, everything straight. You can't miss a beat. Or she out because she's entitled. Remember, she wants you, but she don't need you. And this is why a lot of them are single. Ain't nobody trying to do that. Ain't nobody trying to do that. So hopefully somebody can get something out of the message. Maybe there's something you can learn. Remember, every celebrities and other people's lives are not a representation of your life and what you should be doing. You should not be trying to mirror somebody else's life, but figure out what it is that you need for your life and what it is that you want to accomplish with somebody else, if that's what you want. But looking at celebrities and other people, you should not be judging their lives and trying to replicate what they have, because you don't know the ins and outs of other people's lives, their marriages. You need to figure out what it is that you want and find somebody who want the same things and see if you guys can work together. Not you trying to dictate what you think somebody should be and having all these unrealistic expectations on the other person, but he can't really expect much from you. So those are some things you should be doing if you're looking for healthy relationships. That's it. Otherwise, you're going to continue to be single and you're just getting older every year. And it's not everybody else's fault because you don't have what it is that you want. It's yours, because you have to figure out what you should be doing to get what you want. That's just how it is. You want a good job, you got to get the qualifications needed for that job. You got to go out and get it. Nobody else should be giving it to you. You got to get it yourself. If you don't want to do that, then you probably really don't want what you say what you want. And that's nobody's fault. Nobody else is responsible for the things that you have or don't have. It's all on you. That's bottom line. So if you don't have what you want, that's on you. That's not on no man or woman or anybody else. That's on you, because you are responsible for you, nobody else. So I'm going to leave it there. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button on your way out. Make sure you hit the like button on your way out, you guys. Make sure you share the stream if you can. Also continue to support the channel. Watch the videos that are posted. That definitely helps out. Also hit that notification bell to be notified when I go live or post new content, y'all. If you are new in the building and you like the content, hit the subscribe button. It is free to subscribe. So definitely continue to support. Also, if you want to support by supporting the channel, you can go and get a t-shirt. Support by getting one of my t-shirts, you guys, and that will definitely help the channel as well. Link will be in the description, so check that out if you haven't already. All right, so y'all be safe out here in these streets. Oh, shout out to Smitty. Hey Smitty, I saw you. I'm sorry, I took a minute to respond. But what's going on, Smitty? How you been? Hope all is well. Good to see you here. And shout out to everybody else in the building. I appreciate each and every one of you guys who supports the channel via Super Chat, Cash App, and liking the stream, sharing, all that stuff, subscribing to the channel. All of that helps the channel out. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate you guys. Stay tuned for more. I got a lot more content that I'm looking to push out on this channel. And also, if you haven't subscribed to my second channel, go over and subscribe to that channel as well, you guys. I'll be posting some different videos over there, but go over and support that one as well, right? If you can, right? So thank y'all once again. Y'all be safe out here in these streets. Y'all take care. I will see you guys really, really soon. Watch the videos that are already posted, y'all. Let's run those numbers up on those videos. That'll definitely help me out. So I'm going to be watching. Make sure you guys support in that way. Go watch the video, like it. That'll help the channel as well. Help to push these videos into the algorithm. All right. So thank y'all. I appreciate you guys. Y'all be safe. I love you guys. Until next time. Mwah. I'll see you later. Bye.